is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Lots of reaction to our interview with opposition leader Michael Pintard. Nearly $500 million of road paving exercise underway on the Family Islands. And in business, MSME, the medium, micro, small, medium symposium, set to get underway in just days. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be joining us. Also this morning, our monthly series of the Bahamas Humane Society. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, F&M leader Michael Pintard says that an F&M administration would immediately begin construction on hundreds of homes to address a worsening housing shortage in the country. You heard this on Morning Blend yesterday. A lack of affordable housing, particularly on New Providence, has been a growing concern in recent years. Last week, as he cited rising housing costs and stagnant wages, Housing and Urban Renewal said the situation of a housing affordability crisis. St. Anne's MP Adrian White previously told reporters that an F&M government would build 2,000 homes a year. Pintard says he believes this is a reasonable goal. PLP Golden Isles candidate Darren Pickstock defending the party's ongoing work in the constituency and says it will not end even if he is not successful in the November 24th by-election. Pickstock responding to F&M candidate Brian Brown, who claims that if the government loses the by-election, work in the area will stop. Pickstock telling the Nassau Guardian yesterday, quote, people say that the PLP is only fixing the road and putting up lights because of the election. While he acknowledged that is happening, he says that it's part of a national program and that it started long before the by-election and that the work will not stop. Meanwhile, Works Minister Clay Sweeting says nearly $500 million worth of extensive road paving and exercises are underway on several family islands as part of the government's plan to revitalize roads in the country. Sweeting with Cat Islands in Salvador, Long Island, Inagua, Exuma, Andros, Acklins, Grand Bahama, and Mayaguana as islands currently undergoing road paving efforts. And Chairman of the National Development Plan Secretariat, Felix Stubbs, thought politicians would be the cause of the headwinds faced by the team in reinvigorating the country's blueprint on the way forward. But he says permanent secretaries of the government ministries have created more drag. Stubbs, who gave a sit-down interview on the stage of BICA's Accountants Week, the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants, at Bahamar yesterday, asked about challenges he's faced that would prevent or avoid sustaining momentum. He said the challenges are coming from places he didn't anticipate, saying, quote, it's not the politician, it is that one level just below the politician, and I can call them out, it's the PSs, the permanent secretaries. I get the impression, not all of them, but to a large extent, too many have become very complacent in they're very protective of their turf, and they're not working together. From the courts, a judge has set bail at $9,900 for an accused child molester. 36-year-old Michael Lightfoot has been on remand since July 14th when he was formally charged with molesting a 7-year-old girl in New Providence. The prosecutor did not object to Lightfoot's release when he appeared before Justice Neil Brathwaite for a bail hearing. While on bail, Lightfoot has to wear an ankle bracelet, sign in weekly at a police station, and stay far away from prosecution witnesses. Any breach of any of these conditions will render Lightfoot liable to remand. Overseas, the number of confirmed deaths from Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica rose to 45, with 15 other people still missing. The death toll is expected to rise, with officials still trying to reach 2 towns that remain cut off since the catastrophic Category 5 storm made landfall in western Jamaica on October 28th. Helicopters have been dropping food and other basic supplies in those 2 communities. According to the director of Jamaica's Emergency Management Office, Alvin Gale, the storm has displaced 30,000 households, with 1,100 people still living in 88 emergency shelters that remain open. UN Deputy Spokesperson Farhan Haq said shelters remain a major concern, with 40,000 tarps unavailable to be delivered due to damaged and blocked roads. Nearly 3 dozen roadways remain blocked as crews continue to remove debris. Officials noted that 50% of customers have mobile, 70% of customers now have water. Meanwhile, crews have restored power to more than 60% of customers. And Colombian President Gustavo Petro ordering his nation's security forces to stop sharing intelligence with the United States until the Trump administration stops its strikes on suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean. Relations deteriorate between the 2 countries that were once close partners in the fight against drug trafficking. In a message on X, formerly Twitter, Petro wrote that Colombia's military must immediately end communications and other agreements with U.S. security agencies until the U.S. ceases its attacks on speedboats carrying or suspected of carrying drugs that critics have likened to extrajudicial executions. Petro wrote that the fight against drugs must be subordinated to the human rights of the Caribbean people. It wasn't immediately clear what kind of information Colombia will stop sharing with the U.S. The White House had no immediate response to Petro's latest statements. At least 75 people have been killed by the U.S. military in strikes in international waters since August, according to figures supplied by the Trump administration. The strikes began in the southern Caribbean near Venezuela's shores, but have shifted recently to the Eastern Pacific, where the U.S. has targeted boats off Mexico. Petro has also called for U.S. President Trump to be investigated for war crimes over the strikes, which have affected citizens of Venezuela, Ecuador, Colombia, and Trinidad and Tobago. And a group of activists skirmished with security at the United Nations climate talks in Brazil, briefly trying to force their way into the main venue before two security workers suffered minor injuries. The confrontation coming late in the day as people were filtering out of the venue for COP30, as the talks are known. UN Climate Change saying in a statement that a group of protesters breached security barriers at the main entrance of COP, causing minor injuries to security staff and minor damage to the venue. It said that Brazilian and UN security personnel took protective actions to secure the venue following all established protocols. In sports, game one of the BAISS softball championship schools saw the SAC, the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine, and the QC Comets, Queens College, splitting wins in the junior and senior series at Freedom Farm Baseball Park Tuesday. The Big Red Machine landed the first blow in the junior girls' best-of-3 championship series, the team steamrolling the Comets 11-1 in 3 innings by way of the mercy rule. They now lead the series 1-0 and have a chance to close it out on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Comets, who are the defending champions, capitalized on an explosive first inning to prevail 22-12 in Game 1 of the senior series. SAC head coach Rebecca Moss grateful to pull off the victory in the first game. Senior division, though, a bit of a tug-of-war match between the Comets and the Big Red Machine. Read more about all of it in today's Guardian Sports section. Bahamian bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts showing up and showed out at the 2025 National Physique Committee Worldwide Caribbean Grand Prix Pro Qualifier and Bahamas Grand Prix events over the weekend in Atlantis. Up to 40 Bahamian competitors split their performances between morning and categories, including fitness, classic physique, figure physique, bodybuilding, bikini, wellness, and fit model. Although the local athletes were unable to secure any of the 10 pro cards up for grabs, they still delivered impressive performances. You can read about that in today's Guardian Sports section as well. From the NBA, Tyrese Maxey scored 21 points, and Kelly Oubre Jr. scored the go-ahead basket on a follow with 8.7 seconds left to lead the Philadelphia 76ers to a 102-100 win over the Boston Celtics Tuesday night. Justin Edwards had a team-high 22 points for the Sixers, who played without Joel Embiid. Edwards made 8 of 9 shots, including 5 of 6 on three-pointers. Jaylen Brown scored 24 points to pace the Celtics. Boston led by 8 points with just over 6 minutes to play before Edwards hit 3 consecutive three-pointers in a span of 1 minute and 18 seconds to put Philly in front 93-92. Brown tied it at 100 by making the second of 2 free throws with 33.5 seconds left. Embiid has missed 5 of the team's 11 contests this season. The 2023 MVP is averaging 19.7 points and 5.5 rebounds per game, sidelined in the previous 4 games while recovering from left knee surgery. And Nikola Jokic scoring 35 points and had 15 rebounds. Jamal Murray added 23 points in the weight over the Sacramento Kings. The Kings were led by Domantas Sabonis, who finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Kings led by 1 after the first quarter, but the Nuggets took the lead for good with 1:45 left in the second. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. First look at weather brought to you by Star General. A wind advisory and a gale warning remains in effect across the central and southeast Bahamas today. We've got a stationary front across the southeastern islands that's going to continue to support shower and thunderstorm activity across that part of the country. A strong high-pressure ridge over the rest of the area is producing stable but breezy conditions, along with rough boating and beaching conditions. So for today, motorists and pedestrians along northern, eastern, and Atlantic shorelines should exercise caution due to the potential of overtopping waves and sea spray, especially in Eleuthera with the Glass Window Bridge. There's a very high risk of dangerous rip currents across all areas. Beachgoers and swimmers are advised not to enter the water. And due to strong and persistent northerly wind flows, residents on northern coastal areas should be alert for minor flooding along banks and marshes during high tide. Your weather for today: for most areas, partly cloudy today, less than a 10% chance for showers in the northern half of the country, a 10 to 20% chance in the central islands, 20 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas. Winds today out of the northeast at 10 to 15 knots with occasional gusts for the northern and northwestern islands. Northeast at 15 to 25 knots for the central islands and the southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs in the mid-70s, low to mid-70s for the northern half of the country, upper 70s for the central islands, up into the 80s for the southeast Bahamas, over into the mid-60s for most areas, maybe the upper 50s for the extreme northern islands, and low 70s for the southeast Bahamas. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Star General. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Under the distinguished patronage of Thelma Hanna, Louis Clare Jr. presents Emmanuel Has Come, an evening concert celebrating the birth of Christ our Savior. It all happens one night only, November 22nd, 7:30 p.m. at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church, located on Tonique Williams Darling Highway. Admission is free, so come out and be blessed. An offering will be lifted. This ad has been sponsored by Screws and Fasteners.
Calling all Bahamian entrepreneurs. Get ready for the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, Corporation's signature programs that provides both information and direction to new and developing businesses. Expect a lineup of industry experts and keynote speakers whose keen insights, strategies, and real-world experiences can help you take your business to the next level. Come on down to the Entrepreneurship Think Tank on Thursday, November 13th, 2025, from 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the National Training Agency.
Some people come and go. Others work for you every single day, whether through free classes for students or programs for the elderly. We've been building golden aisles for years, while others waited for their time to shine. I'm Brian Brown. It is something you earn. On November 24th, vote F&M. Because this time around, we're going with Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village. Or call 396-1100.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
Transform your home for less at Kelly's House & Homes Holiday Paint Sale now through Wednesday, December 24th. Enjoy 25% off house and spray paints plus 20% off paint supplies, except on net items. Our wide selection of paint colors is the perfect way to bring holiday cheer to your home. You'll also find the best selection of brushes, rollers, pans, glue, ladders, paint thinner, and more. So catch the holiday spirit and paint up for Christmas at Kelly's House & Homes Holiday Paint Sale, going on now through December 24th.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Calling all Bahamian entrepreneurs. Get ready for the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, one of the Tourism Development Corporation's signature programs that provides both information and direction to new and developing businesses. Expect a lineup of industry experts and keynote speakers whose keen insights, strategies, and real-world experiences can help you take your business to the next level. Come on down to the Entrepreneurship Think Tank on Thursday, November 13th, 2025, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the National Training Agency.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. Leave them right here under the tree for...
For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean?
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end?
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on Guardian Talk and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969, ATC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 4224796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Chester Robards. Chester Robards, good morning. Good morning. Oh, okay. The Master Robards there. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning. How you doing?
All right, you're busy again this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we might even have better contributions than you today. Who knows? Who knows? Just say, not that you don't normally, but who knows? Things could happen, right? So we can.
Wow.
No.
That's wild.
Okay. We got a lot to talk about, a lot going on. In addition to all of that, we've got our monthly series of the Bahamas Humane Society. Quite a bit to talk with them about today. And then later we'll tell you about the MSME Symposium. That's Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprises Symposium. And more details about that. And if you want to be a part of it, what you need to know. And challenges facing them. All of that we're going to get into today. That's all ahead, but right now it's time to talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, our interview yesterday with F&M leader Michael Pintard getting a lot of attention, a lot of reports coming out of that in the media, beginning yesterday and in the papers today, both papers reporting. We talked about a lot of things: housing, healthcare, public transportation, Rick Fox, all manner of things. But so that we didn't get a chance to take many calls. We had a lot to talk about. So if you want to share your views or your concerns, you can call us today. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We talked about the by-election, of course. He says no matter what the outcome is, it's not a reflection on him and his leadership. And I want to get your reaction to all of that. You can, again, tweet us, Facebook us, text us, or call in about that. Chester, there's something that you wrote in today's NASA Guardian that I want to talk about, though. This is very interesting.
Me? I wrote it?
Yeah, you did. Chester Robards. Challenges from the permanent secretaries, not necessarily the elected officials, not the government ministers, on the National Development Plan. Our Chester Robart's writing about it, saying, while chairman of the National Development Plan Secretariat, Felix Stubbs, thought politicians would be the cause of the headwinds faced by his team in reinvigorating the country's blueprint on the way forward, he said in reality, the permanent secretaries have created more drag. Stubbs giving a sit-down interview on the stage of BICA's Accountants Week at Bahamar yesterday, and that's the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants. He was asked about challenges he faced that would prevent or avoid sustaining momentum of the National Development Plan. We've been here before, and you see where that ended up, right? So Stubbs says, quote, the challenges are coming from places I didn't anticipate because I thought that our challenges would be the politicians. And there are challenges, but I think we can work with them and we can get them out of the way. It's not the politician. It is that one level just below the politician. And I can call them out. It's the PSs, the permanent secretaries. Stubbs says, quote, I get the impression, and not all of them, but to a large extent, too many of them become very complacent in their roles, and they are very protective of their turf, and they are not working together. They don't understand that this country has to move forward. We have to move forward together. The Ministry of Health can't move forward without the Ministry of Education or the Ministry of Works. We are one country. We all have to work together. And so I think just like how we do a workshop for the parliamentarians, we have to do several workshops with the leaders in the public service to get them thinking like business people. He said the culture of the public service needs to be changed and made to be as productive as the private sector. Stubbs says PSs should not fear that the work of the NDP, the National Development Plan, will mean someone will come in and usurp their jobs, but he explained that they are finding ways to make their jobs a little easier. According to Stubbs, the NDP will help them to achieve results they may not have been able to achieve to date. He said, quote, we're going to work with them a little bit more continuously through multiple workshops, making sure they understand the plan, what their role is in making it successful, and why it's important that they participate. Legislation is necessary to give the NDP, to give effect to the NDP. Stubbs says he got the final draft of the NDP legislation from the Office of the Attorney General last week, saying, quote, with the draft, we will forward it to the Cabinet for their perusal, and then we'll go to the public for public consultation. Once we get that and everybody agrees to what the legislation should be, it'll go back to the AG for final documentation. We'll then have what I call a parliamentary workshop, where all of the parliamentarians will be expected to come to a one-day workshop to go through the legislation line by line. I'm locking the doors. Nobody's getting out of there until we get full agreement. Wow. Once we get them all agreed to that legislation, we can put it to Parliament for debate, and it should go through without any issues. So I want to stop there. So do people who have nominated or expressed interest in being parliamentarians get to be a part of that? Because they need to agree to it too before right? In case, because we don't want new people to be elected and then say, oh no, I wasn't a part of that. We don't need that foolishness. But anyway, that's just me. We can continue. This is, again, the story, back to Chester's story. The comprehensive 500-page draft plan, which was crafted during the 2012-2017 Christie administration in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, was shelved by the Minutes administration. It was in the final stages when the last PLP administration lost the government. In its pre-election document, Our Blueprint for Change, the PLP pledged to complete the NDP, the draft National Development Plan for areas of national life, providing a guide for the strengthening of internal government decision-making processes to deliver results for the people, and creation of a skilled, responsive, and accountable public service that provides value to Bahamians, investors, and visitors. In addition, it calls for an increase in the transparency of government decisions and transparency in campaign financing to improve confidence in the public institutions and political actors, respectively. Increased accountability for government spending and the implementation of a one-window service to citizen strategy under the auspices of a new agency, Service Bahamas. And it also includes recommendations for healthcare, education, economic development, the justice system, and other areas. Okay. Interesting stuff. And just like Felix Stubbs says, when you wonder why certain people aren't speaking to the media, not all, but often it is because the PS declined to allow somebody to speak. Often, not always. Not always. Sometimes the minister, but often. Let's get your reaction to that, folks. Chester, you want to get to the calls?
No, let's get to the calls.
Were you surprised by Felix Stubbs' comments?
I was not. Only because, as you mentioned just now, and as other journalists will know or have heard as they go through trying to collect information and data on government ministries, oftentimes it doesn't happen because of the PSs. And then you just hear stories and anecdotes about, how uncooperative and rigid they can be, even to the point of not carrying out certain things that come down from cabinet and ministers. So I wasn't surprised. I was just happy to hear someone say it out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's not everybody. There's at least four maybe, cooperative PSs. Maybe 5. Let's take the calls. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air.
Good morning to you.
Hi.
The 3 of you, and especially the baby.
Yes. He's hosting. You hear him? He's hosting the show in the back there.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a serious radio guy.
Oh, boy.
One of these days. Dwight, it's about time you put the spotlight on the permanent secretaries, but I would like to, seeing that you invited some ideas concerning Mr. Pintard yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There is a 4-way race, I believe, in the place they call Golden Isles.
Mm.
And should one candidate win 51% of the votes, it simply means that he secured the majority, and that's a decisive win.
Mm-hmm.
That sends a very, very strong message, because that's a first-round knockout, in my opinion, just speaking metaphorically, eh?
Well, here you don't really need to have 51%, eh? You just need to have the most.
Yeah, but I'm just saying what that would represent.
If you mean if it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time that happened?
Hmm?
When was the last time that happened?
Well, this may be the first.
I'm sure it's happened before, but
Yeah, well, I didn't do much research on that, but I am hoping that this is the first.
What would that? What do you think that would say if somebody did?
Well, that would represent something to the population that perhaps there is a shift. There is a shift coming here, because I look at that seat as a very benign. It's not a seat that is strongly one way or the other. Those people in that area seem to be very pivotal, because they are one who and select a candidate based on performance and not party, in my opinion. That's how I feel, looking from the outside in. But Dwight, I would have liked to ask Mr. Pintard, because my concern is the ability to manipulate the biometric data. I have a major concern over that, and the reason why. I mean, I'm sure it has a positive, it has the negatives, but I wanted to know from him if he has access to the system security design of this, what we're using as this biometric data. I know the foreigners involved, but does he have access to? I wanted to know that, because you could manipulate scanners and bypass just lifting prints and using gelatin molds and just win that way. So I am wondering if he's got a beat on what's going on underneath possibility with this biometric data, because, it is being alleged that, persons have been giving citizenship that really don't deserve it, and they could vote. They can determine the direction of the country, but they don't even speak a word of English.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just targeting one group of people. I'm targeting anybody. I wanted to know if he has a thumb on that, because that's concerning to me. If you give me access to the data in real time, I could choose who wins the election. That's the way it works, eh?
Okay.
All right.
I hear you. Thanks a lot. All right. So if you look at the West Grand Bahama by-election, it looks like Smith might have gotten more than half the votes there, if my math is correct. So that's interesting. All right. Yeah. Well, almost. Anyway, I'll work it out. Okay, let's hear from this caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, Dwight, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to Daddy sitting co-host. I never particularly liked the permanent secretary. I've always had a problem with that title. I am also one of those Bahamians that feel permanent secretaries are a highly bureaucratic group of people. I see them as people who know where the bodies are buried. And I see them as people who, over the years, in my personal view, I think they should have done more to protect the Bahamian people from the damages that the politicians have levied on us, considering their almost immunity to this. I'm going to leave. I wanted to comment on the Michael Pintard's interview yesterday. Congratulations. I think it was a far-reaching and very wide-ranging view of topics. I also wondered, though, is Mr. Pintard, is it his intention, if he wins the government, to be as available to the press as he is right now? He's been on your show now twice within the last, 8 weeks? Or maybe in that time range.
We've asked him that before. He says he would. He says he will, but
I wonder, because there's a saying that I've come to like. It says that time is the greatest threat to our ideals, and to the extent that he is as idealistic as he is about a lot of things, including the willingness to be available to the press as he is. I believe I'm one of those Bahamians that is skeptical. I believe that time will threaten and change that idealistic view and position, because it's been our history. They started saying how bad things are and how much reason they have for not being able to carry out the commitments that they make on all of these different levels. And so for me, I'm at a point where I'm not moved by what politicians say, because I see so much of what they do. So he has a long way to go as it relates to me and winning me over in believing in many of the idealistic things that he is saying, because we have a history of politicians failing us and not delivering on the very, very lofty things that they talk about prior to coming into office. And that's as much as I'm going to say right there on that interview yesterday.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sure the thing will be, Prime Minister's too busy to give a live interview on radio, that kind of thing. Well, we would settle for pre-recorded. Hey, whenever you're available. We said that to the current one, too. But, all right, so yeah, not quite 51%, not quite half, but pretty close in that West Grand Bahama by-election. 40-something%. All right, let's take another call before we get to your text messages. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Yes, sir, good morning to all.
Hi, good morning.
About a national development plan, right? We know that none of the G7 nations have a national development plan. They're the world powers, right? And what China has is a one-party system. So it's like the PLP being in power for life, or the FNM in power for being in power for life. Automatically, you know what I mean? Their system will go through. You see? And if we was to have a national development plan, how could you have one without a referendum? That wouldn't be a national development plan. That would be a plan of what you call it, the ruling class, including the Florida state, because they're part of it too. You see? And what I want to talk about a little, right, is about look at what Donald Trump is doing, right? His views about affordability and housing with a 50-year, what you call it, 50-year mortgage plan. Come on, man. And we have people in this Bahamas who participate in the water state every day. You know what I mean? Want us to do the plans, whatever Donald Trump is doing. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be smart.
I don't understand why you're bringing that up. What does that have to do with anything? Have you heard anybody
what
say
I'm
that
saying
here?
is a lot of our callers they bring the narrative that Donald Trump's whatever Donald Trump is doing is something we should be doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And hello?
We're
you hear
listening.
Me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think that's not right at all. You see, what we need to do is be smart. We do smart things. You know, you have a lot of smart people with a lot of dumb ideas. You know what I mean? Let's be smart, not the smart. Smart talk is about making smart decisions. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's one thing I've not heard anybody here yet say it was a good idea. I don't even know if he's going to get that off the ground over there. And of course, you know, the banks control things here. They would never agree to that one. But that has nothing to do with this. What you said about the plan, I'm not sure if you're accurate about that. Maybe not a national development plan, but they choose in those regions, because it wouldn't be maybe on a federal level, but those regions have plans for their areas. And there is buy-in, maybe not a referendum for them, but the public has a lot to say, and that's what the NDP is trying to do here. The public has a say. If you have something to say, add it. Come out to the meetings, take part, and share your views. So I don't think it's going to be handed down upon you from the mountain. No. But okay. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Hey, interesting perspective from all of your callers. The first caller that I called a philosopher, I really love what he was saying. But, obviously, I'll be honest with you, I don't agree with everything that Trump is doing, but Trump is much smarter than people think he is. And so he's correct on a lot of things that those people don't share the consensus with, because he's being driven by the correct science and et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to get into this one, but I want to touch at home here. Firstly, for me, the term permanent secretary is a misnomer, because I don't know who's permanent. None of us are. I listened to Pintard yesterday. I was impressed with the local government side of the conversation, right, Mrs. Strong? I know you was ecstatic, right?
Well,
it would make me ecstatic.
You know, I wasn't really, because we've heard these promises before, including from the current administration.
Yeah, but I want to get to that, because the first caller, the philosopher, right? I was really interested in what he was saying, because in the run-up to elections, right, here's what would make me ecstatic better than having sex, right? Is if I could have 30,000 or 20,000 people gather up in the front of the House Assembly and force these political class, that I like to use another word, to implement the Freedom of Information Act and find out how much citizenship they have given out in the run-up to the elections. That would be very important to me, because what he's saying is very important. And the fact that we have a minister, we have a portfolio, I don't want to talk about anybody in particular, because they don't even deserve it. Because, some people call themselves and tell, I don't really respect a lot of people for just their views and the words that come out of their mouth, The fact is that we have an educational system that teaches us what they want us to think instead of what we should think for ourselves. And that's how I see it. So a lot of people are calling themselves smart, but they can't really use common sense and think properly. So the one caller called and said, what the politicians do to us. I say we are doing it to ourselves, because we are on the shelves. We are not cohesing together, and we are not fighting nationalist agendas, that we should fuse ourselves together and get rid of the partisanship as relates to political entities. It's just destroying us. And so they'll be having a field day, and this is the way it goes. But really and truly, some information should be disclosed. Us as the problem. I don't really see the politicians as the problem anymore, because, when we become a collectively weak and pathetic people, they would continue to defecate all over us. Give thanks.
Okay. Wow. Okay, one more call, and then we'll get your text messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning.
Chester.
Hi.
I heard Professor Gilbert Morris make the statement several years ago that, you can be in government, but not necessarily in power. The power really is controlled by the civil servants. And I think he was referencing the UK system, that at the end of the day, the exchequer or the treasury said, you still have to come to me. And so we see, just like Mr. Stubbs advocated that a lot of times these PS, they are territorial. They'll have things sitting on their desk, and they know they don't like you. It'll be there for months and months and months and months. And it seems like they can't be moved or something like that. And so that system really needs to be overhauled, and those persons who are not performing, they need to, be moved someplace else or retired or whatever, so that the country can move forward, because they are actually the ones holding this country back in a lot of instances. Right? And we haven't heard anything about the National Development Plan movement or nothing like that. I don't know if that's in the PS.
Okay, so you weren't listening to us earlier? That's why this conversation's come up. That's because of the National Development Plan, and Felix Stubb giving an update saying that there's more pushback from the PSs than even the elected officials. Okay, so let's get to your comments. This person says, back to the Pintard interview, did Pintard acknowledge any good or positive things that the present government has done? No. You were expecting that? Well, then when we have our next cabinet minister on, you'll hear about that. This person says here, on the NDP, it's about time we get on a track for success. We pray for your success, long overdue. Okay. We can bet these same non-complying PSs are part of the Moses generation with no foresight. I mean, they're not going to be in their 20s, if that's, well, so I don't know what you mean, but okay. What Felix Stubb said is no surprise, maybe to you. There's always been a lack of cooperation, competition, and protecting of turf among ministries. This has been going on for decades and hindered development in the country. Not a surprise to me. We said that earlier. That's why you don't hear from a lot of people on the radio. This person says here, Pintard has been available to the press as chairman of the F&M, as cabinet minister, and now as leader of the opposition. Why would this stop? This is his habit, not muscle stretching. Well, you mentioned everything but prime minister, so we don't know if that would be still the case. We can't imagine that on a Tuesday morning. It would be unbelievable. Trust me. Oh, man. Chester, wouldn't you love that if the prime minister would just come here on a Tuesday, Wednesday morning and talk to us live? I don't even know, but good God, what would that... But anyway, okay. So, yeah. This person says here, this is another example of nothing working in the country. These PSs cannot be fired. Like in the private sector, this is why they answer to no one. I don't think you're right about that. I don't think you're right at all about that. That's not true. But anyway, in the future, can you accommodate a minimum of 50% of questions from the public? Not necessarily from us calling in, because I know you dread that, but from messages. So we asked some of the questions that we got in. We definitely did. Although your questions were excellent, they were respectively from your orbit. What does that mean? That's a higher plane? No, just a joke. But yeah, people texted and we did ask some of those questions. Caller, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're live on the air.
To both of you, good morning. Good morning to the Wiley Bahamas, Alan Johnson, critical thinker.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Just two things before I get to the National Development Plan. That's the most important thing I want to talk about. But what the person talked about, called about data security, these are questions I spoke about on your station and another station over the last few days, and the fact that the data protection bill is defective and inadequate in protecting privacy, giving adequate protection, and protecting sovereignty of data, nor does it address the information as part of the process that gets to be data protection. And so this gap measure, but it does not prepare us for the 21st century to deal in the reality, is not future focused. It's basically in the static of now. He's absolutely correct that the data for biometrics could be micro-targeted using the information. In fact, if you listen to the data commissioner, like he says, and the question I asked him is, why isn't people getting the biometrics and then use it as a test against the passport and everything else? And even on the news last night, he says that he determines, he validates whether a passport is any good, and then he checks with the passport office to see if it's any good. How does he validate a passport? These are just like, so what they do is we talk out of context of what data is and what the process is for it. Because you should just import the data individually for each person and then use the existing database as calibration to verify any failure in any one of those other databases, puts it out for protection. In fact, the passport can also do backwards. It has been said that we have no protection in the country for biometrics as of today. We do not have it, and I say the one that we're proposing doesn't go far enough. This is garbage, and we should have it on the mortgage.
Oh,
right?
no, but nobody's into what Trump's into.
I'm just saying it's a good idea. We can talk about that later.
50-year mortgage is a good idea?
Yes, see, Dwight, this is a quick thing. I would take a 50-year mortgage. Why? Because if the $300,000, the $300, $500 a month I save, if I have the discipline to invest it to get a greater return than I would pay to the bank, guess what, Dwight? I'm ahead. See, what happens is...
And how old are you going to be when you get this 50-year mortgage?
No, because it doesn't allow... You could pay off the mortgage.
Okay.
I could take the $500...
In the Bahamas? Anyway.
But Dwight, this is what I'm saying. Which brings us to the National Development Plan. We don't have conversation on economics, on development, and everything else. We spend our entire time talking about yesterday. And respectfully, as chairman of the United Democratic Party, I declared the National Development Plan dead on arrival because it's a book of ideas. A National Development Plan has about 26, maybe 30 different things that goes from opportunity sensing, outcomes and matrix 6, what we call KPI, to the idea, to the vision, research and feasibility, strategy, the business case and funding, governance and stakeholder map, roadmap and prioritization, measurements, telemetry design, capability and change readiness, and it changes literally on a daily basis. When people talk about China has a 100-year plan. They have a 50-year plan. They have a 20-year plan. They have a 5-year plan, and they have a 1-year plan. And every single year, and the same thing with Singapore, the change that happens from then to that 1 year is cascaded across the entire plan. So literally speaking, the National Development Plan almost changes on a yearly basis based on the... So when we talk about it, right, but the problem is that the PSs have a vision document, a thing, but with respectfully, if it doesn't have all these different things, we do not have a plan. We need a plan.
So there you go. So you see that it's going to come back to the public soon. And so let's not use words like it's dead on arrival, because what you're saying needs to be incorporated, needs to be as part of this.
Right, in the age of AI and data we're talking about right now, what was relevant 18 hours ago is not relevant right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to incorporate. This is what we need. We need a digital and future competent government that understand the reality where we are in the 21st century. We're no longer paper, and we are, but the world is no longer a paper, carbon paper, and whatever. I think we still sell carbon paper in the Bahamas, right? And typewriters.
Probably.
So this is the reality. We have to wake up. The time is going to stop for no one.
So that has to be a part of the National Development Plan, right? That it must be fluid, it must be changeable, and we have to keep improving it.
I may ask you a question. Since the National Development Plan, what have the previous administrations done? What have this administration done? They don't have an interest. So what we have to do is we have to get a government that understands on day one, in spite of the things they're going to do, that we need a team of individuals that knows that information and things changes at the speed of thought. And we must adjust and be agile in that capacity for governance going forward in the 21st century.
Okay.
We can't go back and say, I didn't have 4 years to do it, I need more time. Guess what? It doesn't exist anymore.
All right, Alan, I got a lot of calls coming in. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But Chester, so in your story you mentioned that Felix Stubbs said that they're going to meet with all the parliamentarians and lock the doors and make sure they all understand and agree. But like I said, was there any indication whether everybody who's considering running, just in case they are elected, that they must be a part of this as well? Because we really do not need people to say, I wasn't in that and I don't agree to any of this, and then just shelve it again. We don't want that. We don't need that. Like what happened when Minutes came in. Good Lord. Nope. All right. We'll get back to Chester in a bit. Let's take another call before we get back to your messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Chester.
Hi. Good morning.
So, Dwight, do you have any record or indication of any such claim prior to this revelation that it's not the politician, it is that one level just below the politician? Do you have any record of any this committee or this chair secretariat experiencing this type of difficulty?
Now, what do you mean by that? Like, has anyone publicly said it? And that's what you mean? No one has publicly said it. I mean, people.
I mean, we've been talking about
right.
This,
the public has been saying that.
Development plan for years.
Mm-hmm.
But for this to come out now saying it's not the politician, it's the permanent secretaries. So the permanent secretaries are the ones that are thrown underneath the bus on this one. Who appoints these permanent secretaries, Dwight?
All right. So So what do you think? What do you think this means? What are you saying? You saying it goes back to the elected officials?
If this was something that that success or wanted, you don't think you would have heard them and it was so needed?
Okay, so
they believe in it,
now listen
so
to what he's saying
needed
though. That's not the reason why we have not progressed with a national development plan. The reason was because the former prime minister was not on this run. When this was launched, I was at the launch. Minutes was nowhere to be found. Right. So that's different. But what he's saying is that when they meet with people for information and to talk to folks, it's the PSs who are giving them, I guess, the most flack. So that's a little bit different. That's not the reason why we don't have a functioning plan at the moment. Not because of them. That was because of Minutes.
I'm trying to understand exactly if they were getting this pushback and didn't really get cooperation from these persons could be transferred, Dwight. That's my point.
Well, again, this is just
permanent secretaries every day.
Yeah, well,
But if this was the archetype if this was a part of the agenda, and they really wanted this important plan, so we could be at least not appear to be so operating so ad hoc.
Okay, so
this would have been.
He's right. That's not what he's saying. He's saying they just
what is he saying?
they're the most challenging to deal with.
Well, whatever word we want to use, the fact remains we still don't have one. We still not functioning properly.
Well, they have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, and we were on the way.
52 years later, though, Dwight.
Yeah, we were on the way, and then the government changed, and then it wasn't the priority of that administration.
What I was hoping you would have raised yesterday, Dwight, and tell me something. When you look at how we set up the budget over the years, it seems as if that it comes from the top down in terms of benefits. How it would be, I believe it would be much easier if our budget can start coming from the ground up as opposed from up down. For example, all of these constituencies have representatives. If the representatives would bring the socio-economic situations in terms of how many housing we would need in a particular area, how many speed bumps we would need, how many schools, if need be, clinics, etc. These are the type of things that can be included in the budget, so we don't have to be sitting around wondering, is anything in this for Golden Gates, or is anything in this for Carmichael? Own exactly what is in this budget and what to expect as a country, as a community, as a constituency, as opposed to we need certain things, none of it is being addressed, but when the budget come out, we see it being, you have line items, everything lined up to go elsewhere. Yeah. Likewise with I listened to the
Well, before you go on, let me give you an answer to that. What you need is real local government, right? Where they have their own budgets, and then those things you can see directly, not getting mixed up with 200, 400, 500 pages of something else, where it'd be much simpler and you'd be able to trace it and see, well, this will finally address this issue they're having in this neighborhood and blah, 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 right? The way it is now, you'll never see it, you'll never know it, you'll never understand it.
And I basically agree with you. Local government could do a whole lot in terms of assistance, but for whatever reason, they want it to come from the top down, and that is why we get left behind and we can't really get get the country to move forward. But this would be a new revolutionary way of thinking if our leaders could interact, have their representatives interact with their constituents, the budget, prior to them finalizing it themselves. Because a lot of the things that are in the budget, and even things pop up after the budget that we knew nothing about, that they factor in, and a lot of the pressing issues. I mean, when you look at the hospital, for example, when you look at the hospital right now, I've always been calling for this. We need to have a Department of Government and Efficiency. When you talk, conversing with Anku yesterday, I had no idea that all of the money is targeted to go towards the hospital. 80% of it goes on salaries, benefits, and other things. Imagine that, Dwight. This is how hospitals function the world over, where 80% of the monies go towards salaries.
It's almost every ministry,
and benefits.
Every ministry in the Bahamas.
And we are functioning the hospital. So you see why the hospital is in the situation that it's in. 20% goes towards man, Dwight, that one is mind-boggling, and we all deep breath and pause, because we see now exactly why the hospital has fallen to this type of disrepair. But I'm sure if you do the research, you will never see hospitals run where 80% of the funding goes towards salary and benefits. This is just unbelievable. I don't think it's happening nowhere on planet Earth in developed countries.
I don't know. I mean, public hospitals are very interesting. I would not say that we are unique. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't say we are. Public hospitals are a very special animal. Okay. You said something important, though, that that they need to, as in they need to get it. No, we need to make them get it. Whenever we were talking about you need to express as a voter, as the electorate, express to these folks that we're sending to the House that this is the way we want it to be. Not the way it is now. They need to think and understand that is the number one priority. Can we all get to that point? I don't know. All right, let's read some messages before we go to the break. This texter says here, okay, this is interesting. This says, why can't we have a young PS? Why do they all have to be Abram's sister? Well, I don't know. But do we have any? I'm sure they'd have a big challenge trying to get things done in the ministry if they were younger than most of the people working there. This person says that we currently exist in a state of political feudalism and economic fiefdoms. A national development plan would go a long way in defining guidelines of behavior for those in power. Absolutely. As we go to the break, as we go to the news, this person says here in Japan, it goes from the parents to the kids. It's not the... Okay. Would you want that? Yeah? And what if you don't have any kids? Then what? The cats, the dogs, would just taken by the state and pushed on to somebody else. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the news. We'll be back. A whole lot more Morning Blend when we return here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:25, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got a wind advisory and a gale warning in effect across the central and southeast Bahamas. Also have a stationary front across the southeastern islands that's going to continue to support some shower and thunderstorm activity across that part of the country. And a strong high-pressure ridge over the rest of the area. producing stable but breezy weather along with rough boating and beaching conditions. So the frontal boundary is expected to linger across the southeastern islands. That's going to keep the chance for shower activity elevated through Saturday, and then it's going to dissipate. And robust high pressure will maintain cool, dry, and breezy conditions over most of the area into the weekend. There is a risk for motorists and pedestrians along northern eastern Atlantic shorelines of overtopping waves and sea spray, especially if you are in the Lutheran of the Glass Window Bridge. So keep that in mind if you're there. And there is a very high risk of dangerous rip currents along all areas, across all areas. Beachgoers and swimmers advised not to get into the water. And due to strong, persistent northerly wind flows, residents of north coastal areas should be alert for minor flooding along banks and marshes during high tide. So for today, your forecast for most areas, partly cloudy. Only about a 10% chance or less than 10% chance of showers for the northern half of the country, a 10 to 20% chance of showers for the central Bahamas, and a 20 to 30% chance of showers with thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas. High temperatures, depending where you are, ranging from the low 70s to the mid 80s. 80s for the southeast Bahamas, but most of us in the 70s today for the northern, northwest, and central Bahamas. Overnight lows for most areas in the mid 60s, but upper 50s possible for the extreme northern islands today. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, variably cloudy for half of the country, partly cloudy for the rest of the area, an elevated chance of showers and thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas. Mix of sun and clouds by Friday. Still an elevated chance of showers and thunderstorms for the southeastern islands. That's going to hold into Saturday with partly sunny conditions, mainly fair at night, straight through the weekend. Tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next few days. That's your morning blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're looking to paint, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. And time for a check of traffic brought to you by RBC here. A reminder of the milling and paving work on East Street between Wolf Road and Robinson Road is scheduled to wrap up today. So avoid the area if you can, or slow down and follow the posted signs if you have to be there. Again, this is East Street between Wolf and Robinson Road. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing heavy traffic at the six-legged roundabout. On multiple fronts, we've got northbound on New Providence Highway and eastbound on John F. Kennedy Drive. You're going to see that slow-moving traffic there. Bit of congestion on the southbound on New Providence Highway side as well. And farther south, you've got Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway northbound. And some slow-moving traffic on Tonic Williams Darling Highway eastbound to Bahamas Games Boulevard. Blue Hill Road also issues for you north and southbound between Soldier and Carmichael. And once you get north of that area, you're going to see heavy traffic on the way to Independence Drive, the roundabout there. Slow-moving westbound traffic on Independence Drive at this hour. Eastbound as well, got a bit of congestion there. And East Street between Soldier and East-West Highway, Independence Drive, slow-moving traffic for you northbound. Then there's Prince Charles Drive heading into Robinson. You're going to be seeing most of your issues between Beatrice and Soldier Road. Soldier Road from that intersection straight up to Bernard Wolfe and Village Road, slow-moving north at this hour. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert. Also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you prefer face-to-face chat or handling things online, they've got you covered. Visit nuainsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
Opportunity are the keys to success. I started as a packing boy, a bus boy, and a space cleaner. Now, I'm a businessman and a lawyer. As chairman of BAIC, I focus on creating new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs and farmers. I'm Darren Pickstock, candidate for the PLP in Golden Isles. It would be an honor to work hard for Golden Isles and help with concerns big and small. Let's work together to create new pathways to security and success for more Bahamians.
This has been a paid announcement by the Progressive Liberal Party.
Cool down with the latest Frosty flavors at Wendy's. Savor the Caramel Crunch Frosty, which combines a creamy texture with a satisfying toffee nut crunch. Or indulge in the fresh and tangy taste of the Lemon Cake Frosty. Or enjoy the sweet and chocolatey goodness of the Cookies and Cream Frosty. These new Frosties are only here for a good time, not a long time. So head to your nearest Wendy's and grab your day. Gotta be chilly, gotta be frosty.
Unwrap the gift of style with Nassau Tile's holiday warm-up event from November 17th to 29th. Now is the time to beat the holiday rush with savings so hot you'll feel the cheer. Save 20% off store-wide on all tile, setting materials, backsplashes, mosaics, trims, and more. Gobble up even more savings on selected net items. Shop the holiday warm-up event at Nassau Tile for a feast of savings. Visit our showroom on Doddswell Street or call 322-2100 to check off your holiday style wish list today.
Looking for the perfect Sunday outing? The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas is now open and free to all Bahamian citizens and residents. Spend the day admiring the evolution of Bahamian art. Soak in the natural beauty of our art park and take a little piece of culture home with you by browsing our gift shop. Whether you're an art lover or just curious, we've got something here for everyone. Bring your family, your partner, or your friends and let the art inspire you this Sunday and beyond. The National Art Gallery of the Bahamas, our home for Bahamian art.
Mommy, are you writing to Santa too?
You have Santa. I have CIBC Caribbean.
CIBC has sweetened the season, so you can bring your holiday dreams to life and wrap a new home or land with incredible cashback deals. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.ibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's the show-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah, we also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp, stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com / and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
If you come from the island, you know nothing is more important than family. I am Brian Brown, and the people of Golden Isles are my family. I'm proud to serve my neighbors and friends. I'm asking for your vote to be your next MP. I believe in showing up all the time, not just election time. So on November 24th, vote F&M, because this time around, we are going with Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Bahamian families, mark your calendars. On Sunday, November 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton. Meet 13 of Canada's top CAIS accredited boarding schools. Join our schools for a casual yet informative Canadian reception directly following the Betty Walker Fair. Discover how CAIS boarding schools offer small classes, personalized support, and a safe, inclusive community that prepares students for success at top global universities. Don't miss it. Sunday, November 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at the British Colonial Hilton.
Attention RBC clients. To comply with regulatory requirements and to avoid service interruption, you need to update your information at your RBC branch. While you're there, enroll in RBC Digital Banking for 24/7 access to your accounts anytime, anywhere. Update your information and bank at your convenience with RBC Digital Banking today.
Janae's Chesapeake Road Spin. Get up to 40%, yes, 40% off decorations this season. Christmas trees in a variety of sizes and colors, and decorated by choosing from the largest variety of Christmas decorations in town. Musical LEDs and laser lights, ornaments, lighted angels and Santas, garlands, wreaths, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Oh, the array of flowers and picks choices. And don't forget the toys, they're 40% off. Up to 40% off things Christmas at Janae's. Restrictions apply. Check out some selections online at www.janays.com.
They say the holy water's watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually, so if our time is running out, day after day, we'll make the mundane our masterpiece. Oh my love. I take one look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down to the dead and buried on the edge of your knife, staying drunk of the angels up in the clouds. I'm jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of the sanctuary. Shadow me with your touch, will not return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found hopeless.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. Chester Robards, are you there? Yep, let's get him unmuted. But yeah, all right. So we continue to talk about what we've been discussing, getting a reaction to what the Secretariat, the chair of the National Development Plan, Secretariat Felix Stubbs, is saying that they're trying their best to get the National Development Plan running again, up and running before they present it to the public and to politicians, but they're meeting some challenges. Not from politicians, but from permanent secretaries in the various ministries and departments. Getting your reaction to that. You can call us 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Again, he's not saying they're blocking it. He's not saying that, but just as they seek information or seek to whatever they're trying to do. Often, not with all, but a few, giving them the hardest time, the most pushback, right? And they are not the reason why the plan was not implemented back in the day. That was something else. There was an election, and the priorities shifted, and that was put Not even the back burner. That was from storage closet. Maybe even in the trash. Who knows? But now we're trying to do it again, and they're meeting some challenges. So let's hear from you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight Strachan.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight. When it relates to the national plan, right? The national plan, that's what it's called, right?
National Development Plan, yeah.
National Development Plan. Dwight, the problem with what I see continue to happen in this country, right? When it relates to these permanent secretaries, and it's being alleged that they are not, coming on with the team, right? Here's the deal, there, Dwight. When the PLP in power, they promote their PLP permanent secretaries. When the F&M in power, they push up their F&M permanent. I'm a former civil servant, retired, right? And this is what I've been saying, right? When the PLP comes with their policies, right, and they unfortunately have a F&M permanent secretary inside that, what you call it, right? They find it hard. They make it hard for that PLP or vice versa F&M. That's our problem with
so
the face.
Is that? Everybody knows everybody's political leanings. Is that?
Yeah, man.
Because not everybody is political.
Hello.
I'm listening.
Dwight, it's highly unlikely for people not to know who people supporting in this country, man.
Really?
Right? We are small people. And then when you wait...
there are a lot of us, including myself, who are not affiliated with any party, and
Right,
I
you
think
do
that
a good job, Dwight. Hey, Dwight.
there's plenty of people like that. I'm sure plenty of the PSs are like that.
Yeah, but plenty of them are not, Dwight. Plenty of them are not. Let me give you another example. And here's why they are not. Because they was brought in when the government came in, then the stigma continues with them straight out their career. Right? When the PLP this is just so unfortunate, White, but it's real. And these people, they govern based on the administration. They came or was promoted as permanent secretary. White, this was still going on. And this is why it's so difficult for anything to because to move forward positively, because the policies with the government them just bring sometimes the permanent secretaries, they're not prepared to stand or sign off on them, and that's what the problem. It's just another form of gulling the people politically, Dwight.
So what's the solution? What do we do to get away from this?
Okay, what we need to do, Dwight, we need to revamp the whole public service, all right, starting from getting rid of the PLP and the F&M, and then by doing that, we make it then find a way to deal with their permanent secretaries. But as long as the PLP and the F&M is in place, this is the problem, and this is the circumstances and conditions we would always face, because I don't know if you're aware, but this is what we've been doing. We recruit loyalty rather than accountability.
Wow. So everybody should be non-affiliated, not with any party.
No, you could be affiliated.
But not with the PLP or F&M.
You don't need to have your affiliation to the detriment of a developing nation. Your affiliation didn't take you to that to the point that you are willing to kill a whole nation for affiliation, right?
I hear you. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Well, I don't know. I hear you. I don't know what to say. Chester Robards.
Do you think there's some permanent secretaries sitting down listening, saying, I wonder if they're talking about me?
I said there were
or do you know
4 or 5 good ones.
Do you know that they know?
Maybe you're one of the 4 or 5 good ones. Maybe we're not talking about you. Maybe. Well, we have to show to ask if I'm one of the good ones. I'll tell you yes. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Chester.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I agree with the last caller, but like you say, you guys don't have to wear your politics on your sleeve. But if you look at it, Dwight, the gentleman who in charge of the election, Mr. Thompson, he's a permanent secretary with 5 or 6 ministries. Now they have him dealing with the election. We have the permanent secretary, the Ministry of Works. He didn't retire but 5 times. He under minister, they retire him. As soon as this government come back, they bring him back in. Come on, man, Dwight. There's know who their people is. They'd be undercover coming to the meetings, calling them, letting them know that they support over there. Being a long-time supporter when they was young, starting off in the government system. And then I heard you tell a caller earlier, before the break, which permanent secretary you know get fired? I don't know, but I never know, but none get fired. I just know they get moved around from ministries to ministries to ministries, according to their support to what government they support.
They were saying that they can't. I don't think they can.
Like they couldn't, like they can't be
I'm
fired,
sure
but
they
don't be fired. They just move them
Very
around
difficult.
and stuff like that. But we know, the permanent secretaries, they have their parties. Everybody supports someone. Like you said, a little undercover.
I think
But,
somebody
like,
was fired, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, okay. Well, you don't have to wear your
you know.
politics on your sleeve. If your party ain't in, and you got to work with this administration to move the country forward. You can't just stagnate this government or do this to this government because you don't support this party, and that's what has happened. That's why they got to remove them and put their people in there. And then so that's how it goes. So we got to change that, man. Change that is correct.
Totally agree. Thank you very much. All right, let's take another. Oh yeah, okay. So let's do that one. Let's take that call, and we've got a few more of you back on this topic. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
Let me start off by saying the gentleman, whenever I call this radio station, there's a gentleman who always answers and puts us on hold. He does a great job, and I want to give him his applause before I say anything else.
Okay.
And the truth of the matter is, without people who, your program is as good as the people who work for you and work under you. And it's the same with the government, If the people who work under the ministers aren't doing their job or are restricted themselves to move forward. And with that said, my question is, who are they accountable? Who do the general secretary, the permanent secretaries answer to?
I guess when the minister is in the minister, right?
Okay.
Or is it the cabinet? I don't know. That's a good question.
Who are they finally accountable? That's a question. That's what I really want to know.
There must be an answer. The prime
we don't know what the answer is.
That's good. It's the minister will change.
Because if I call your program and the person who answered the phone and put me on hold was rude, I know who I would talk to, right? Who would be blocking your program from moving forward. I know that his manager will be accountable to him, but so it's a question of if they're not doing their job, who are they accountable?
There's got to be an answer. There's got to be an answer.
Governor General.
Right. That's a good question. It's a good question. We're going to find out the answer. I think whoever the minister is, thank you, caller, whoever the minister is at the time can, right? They can, because you can move a PS, right?
You can move the PS.
And the cabinet and the prime minister. It's probably, everybody's answerable to the prime minister in this type of system. Well, at least in the way we've set it up. The way we've set it up. Well, he's the be-all and end. You got a big rock in your street, a big stone blocking the way. You call the prime minister, and it's moved. Yeah, right. From something, no?
Once again, and you heard this from unions coming on your show, who say the prime minister has handed down a directive, and somebody's not moving forward with that directive.
The PS.
It's who else is it? Typically it is, right? Because we know who's answerable to the PS. All the people in that department, right? Or ministry. So
wow. Hey, well, somebody has to sign or do they sign their own checks?
Huh? That's the person.
Whoever
That's
is.
the person. Who's that? Who's that person?
I can figure out, but then who signs that person's check?
Oh, boy.
Huh? He signs his check?
The Governor General.
Boy. He's opened the box today.
Yeah.
He opened Pandora's box. But there's definitely an answer. But do they ever answer to the person?
Right. The secretary to the cabinet, as you would
That's
notice,
what I'm saying, right?
as you would notice, is typically at the table when they do heads of agreement signings.
Yeah.
The prime minister don't sign nothing. Those heads of agreements.
Yeah, people saying that, right? The secretary of the cabinet responsible for all permanent secretaries. Yeah, and the secretary advises the prime minister. Okay. They seem to know. I'm going to read the whole text because I don't know how you know this. But anyway, you're assuming because of who appointed the person? I don't know. They're saying, the secretary to the cabinet is responsible for all permanent secretaries. The secretary advises the prime minister. She is an F&M, but she does her job.
Why are all up in her business?
How everybody knows this?
The secretary of the cabinet is a very wonderful lady as well.
How do you all know? You saw her at a rally? How do you all know this? Why would you know?
I don't know what her politics is. But again, if your job is national development, which it is, you work for a ministry that has to move the country forward. What a problem is.
Yeah. This person says, don't read this on air. Oh, boy. But they're calling a name. They said this person worked under both governments and showed an affiliation to any party. I agree with you. There are many out there like you. And I do know the person you're calling, and that person was fantastic and wonderful, and you're very right about that. But I think
they exist.
Paid the price for that, though, often. Right? So it's crazy. It's crazy how things work here. Caller, morning. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Chester.
Morning.
The Public Service Commission and the Governor General, those are the be-all, end-all with the permanent secretaries. It's the Public Service Commission.
See that, but that's in the that's a title though.
Those,
the Governor
those
General.
Are the ones that, those are the ones that either can remove them or transfer them.
But not without consultation, without being advised. Right?
Well,
especially the Governor General. The Governor General wouldn't just do that on his or
it's
her
directed
own.
to the Public Service Commission, and the Public Service Commission directs it to the Governor General.
Yeah, so from...
That's how it happens.
Who directs it? Yeah, who directs it? Right?
The Public Service Commission.
No. They won't do that without being directed.
It has to come from government.
Mm-hmm.
It has to come from the government. And then the Public Service Commission deals with it and directs it to the Governor General. That's how it happens.
Yeah. So basically the Prime Minister.
No. The Prime Minister has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
The Prime Minister is out of it. He has nothing to do with it.
You believe that?
I know that.
Oh.
And I can quote the article for you.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
That doesn't mean... Who appoints the Public Service Commission? Who appoints them?
The Public Service Commission.
But who appoints those people to that?
The Governor General. You laughing? I can quote.
It's hilarious because you know the Governor General is directed to do by the Prime Minister, right? The Governor General has no say in anything. Maybe the color of, I don't know, but
the
nothing
house.
important.
What's in the fridge?
Barely. So it can say it, but we know what it is. That's not the reality. Not the reality at all.
I need somebody to give me the hierarchical structure of government.
Do you really?
Well, now I'm curious.
We got a lot of show going on here. There's a lot of performance, right?
It's
that's why everybody wants to meet with one person,
right?
Because they know
Yeah.
you're just gonna can't use these terms on the radio, but you're just wasting your time. You could say all these things. There's tons of stuff that says the Governor General can do, but you know what it means. And again, who picks the Governor General? So let's not play the games.
But imagine, as Mr. Stubbs said, imagine you have permanent secretaries who are they won't cooperate because there is a concern that their job will be usurped.
Mm-hmm. That's everybody's fear, even the ministers.
Yeah, but isn't it better that that you participate and be a positive part of something than be the drag?
Who determines if it's positive?
Isn't the National Development Plan in and of itself positive?
Depends on the plan, but it sounds like it should be, right? But what if it's just based on, pie in the sky dreams? So he grounded in reality and would say, y'all could say this, but in reality that would never work. And so I don't have time for this nonsense. Get out of my office. Right?
It won't work, or they don't want it to work?
They've been around for decades, centuries, and they know how things work. And our people will never go for this. This is foolishness. I got real work to do. Get out of my office.
Real work. It's often still hard to get somebody on the phone at a government office. Okay. If that can't fix in 2025.
They still transfer you ask for the name of the PS. They say, hold on, you can't tell me the name. You're going to transfer to somebody else to ask for the name. And then another person before they can authorize to give the name. Who's calling? Why do you want to know?
Yeah, right. Boy, they get angry. They get angry.
What's the name of your PS? Who's calling? Like, oh my gosh.
Hey.
Anyway. Oh boy. The texter's agreeing with me. That person did. Yeah, it wasn't an easy road to be impartial and not political and not affiliated.
It's actually worse to be unaffiliated.
Probably. This person says here, the Secretary to the Cabinet advises the Prime Minister and Cabinet. As it relates to that caller with who opened the box, I've dubbed it the box of bureaucratic BS. Thanks to you, Chester, for exposing the BS in a humorous way. Well, I'm telling you, we're playing games here. We know what is really going on here. This one man with immense power.
Yeah.
And, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you? No, let's take the other one. Good morning, caller. You're on the air, live.
Yeah, Dwight.
Hi.
And Chester. The Constitution 108, 109 is for the PS. 113 is for the Financial Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary. The way it works is the Governor General is the one who formally appoints the Permanent Secretary.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's the Public Service Commission that recommends who should be appointed. And but the Public Service Commission must consult with the Prime Minister to give that recommendation. So the process is the Public Service Commission consults with the Prime Minister. After that, they advise the Governor General, and the appointment is made.
Mm-hmm. And who appoints the people to the commission?
Big pardon?
Who appoints the people to the commission?
I think that's another question. I don't know about that one.
You know exactly who does it.
But
you know exactly who does it.
Dwight, they can be removed if you eliminate the ministry for which they appoint to. We have a tendency of transferring them or even putting them in the corner. But if that department or whatever no longer exists, and just the problem is that we have the Prime Minister have the ability to keep making up these cabinet positions, even though the Constitution sets a minimum of 9. What we need to do is we need to put a cap as a percentage of the Parliament, let's say 1/3 of Parliament, so we don't bastardize it. And then second, if the Prime Minister wants to, he can appoint secretaries as part of his cabinet or advisory team, Secretary of Energy, Secretary of Education, Secretary whatever. And then what you do is you have it's mainframed so that you say you have 12 permanent positions. So now the ministries will be permanent in its structure rather than subject to the Prime Minister making up names and combining and all these other different things. And so we just need to structure. We keep living in the Constitution rather than and that's the point. The reason why we live in the Constitution is you put laws, you'll have to follow the laws. But if you just go by the blueprint, you could always say, I'm building this based on the blueprint, and the law doesn't restrict me. Guess that's why we don't make laws.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Should I read this text?
Yeah.
This first. And I don't think he believes it about me either. Anyway, respect, Dwight. I'm happy to know that you are not affiliated with the PLP or the F&M. I'm impressed. Persuade Chester to be like you. What does that?
That person sounded, my politics better than me.
What? Okay. All right.
Or even you. Right?
Wow. We'll take a final call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, good morning.
Is the guy that opened the box earlier. Just calling back based on what the gentleman just said. It sounds like we have a bunch of commissions that have to go to the Prime Minister's office for recommendations and approvals.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I'm wondering how much money is paid to those agencies that could just be absolved and everything just go to the Prime Minister's office, and it should just be under the Prime Minister's office since they have to go to the Prime Minister anyway.
No. People need to work. People need to be. People need jobs. People need to be paid so they could buy stuff and make the economy look like it's doing something.
But have them do actual things as opposed to look like they're doing something.
Oh, well, Sure.
Because it just wasted money now.
Yes.
It just opens that box at how many offices are there that are just actually wasted money, and if there's no work for them to do, then find real work as opposed to just having them do something that has to go to somebody to ask for permission. It just makes no sense.
Well, that's why a caller early in the show is saying, Cleaver is saying that we need a Doge like they do in the States, right? They did with Elon Musk, oh boy, right? To cut the fat and make everything more efficient. But we'd have a whole lot of people walking around doing nothing.
Which is why when you call the government office, you can't get through to anyone on the phone.
Exactly.
And it takes forever to actually talk to somebody.
Hey.
Maybe we should take all the commissions and make them answer phones.
that would
makes sense.
Be a good idea.
Yeah,
there we go. Have a great morning.
Yeah, but they wouldn't give you any information though because they don't know a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, every time a report comes out from all those rating agencies, etc., they tell the government your public service too fat. You save some money if you trim it.
They're always saying it,
and they never will, maybe ever, take that advice.
Yeah,
because it's too important to them to have low productivity and high, minions? I don't know what you call them. Voters, possible voters?
People
I don't know.
who look like they're doing something.
Yeah.
And they say that it'll be trimmed when people retire, but as we see, so many are brought back. And we appreciate the value they add, but it's adding to the cost and to the bottom line.
Is it still
going up.
is it still a voter thing to promise a government job to people? Is that still a
sure.
thing?
You better believe it.
Yeah. I know it used to be a thing.
You forgot what happened 4 years ago. How many people? Anyway. And what will happen next year? I'm sure. This is what we do. It's very sad.
Yep.
It's very sad. This text, I didn't write this. Person says, local government is the change we need. We got to go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be back when we come back with business. We'll be talking about small and medium-sized enterprises and a big symposium coming up. Stay tuned.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
At Star General Insurance, we've got you covered. Whether it's motor insurance with flexible options for third-party liability and comprehensive coverage, or commercial insurance products that protect your business, we have choices you can afford. Own a home or renting? Our home insurance products have just what you need. And for the adventurers out there, we offer marine insurance too. Visit our website or social media pages for contact information and quotes. Star General, insurance made simple.
Step inside the John Baptiste Jazz Club at Baha Mar, where the rhythm of the islands of the Bahamas meets the soul of New Orleans. Every night, the lights dim, the music swells, and the air fills with that unmistakable energy, the kind that makes you close your eyes and just feel. Savor signature cocktails, curated small plates, and live performances from world-class musicians, all in an intimate, artfully designed space where every seat has a story. Whether it's a romantic night out or a spontaneous evening with friends, this is where you want to be. The John Baptiste Jazz Club, only at Baha Mar. Reserve your table now at bahamar.com/jazz club or through the Baha Mar app, because every evening plays its own tune.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Unwrap the gift of style with Nassau Tile's Holiday Warm-Up event from November 17th to 29th. Now is the time to beat the holiday rush with savings so hot you'll feel the cheer. Save 20% off store-wide on all tile, setting materials, backsplashes, mosaics, trims, and more. Gobble up even more savings on selected net items. Shop the Holiday Warm-Up event at Nassau Tile for a feast of savings. Visit our showroom on Doddswell Street or call 322-2100 to check off your holiday style wish list today.
Calling all Bahamian entrepreneurs. Get ready for the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, one of the Tourism Development Corporation's signature programs that provides both information and direction to new and developing businesses. Expect a lineup of industry experts and keynote speakers whose keen insights, strategy, your business to the next level. Come on down to the Entrepreneurship Think Tank on Thursday, November 13th, 2025, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the National Training Agency.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. And the 242 Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise Act Symposium is coming up in just a few days. Here to tell us all about this, he's very passionate about MSMEs. Has been for decades. Small business advocate Mark Turnquest. Good morning, sir. Great to have you with us again.
Good morning. How you doing?
We're doing well. Always great to have you with us. All right, so where do we begin? We have a lot to talk about. We'll get to the symposium in a bit, but I know that you have been talking about this for as long as
17, 20 years now.
Wow. The Micro, Small, and Medium-Sized Enterprise Act. Where do things stand right now?
All right, basically, let me get a history of this. In 2009, I was sponsored by Caribbean Export Development Center, the Export Development, and they initiated a small business summit. And I invited everybody from the industry, the commercial sector, the non-government, and the government organizations, and we had a symposium then, 2009. It was the first one, the first Small Business Summit, and out of that, it was collectively all of the engineers, the consultants, the doctors, the government agencies indicated that we need something sustainable. I said, yeah, because 50 years, at the time we was 50 years. I said, well, we got to do something 50. It's 50th anniversary. However, what happened was, we decided, something, let's do something solid. I said, okay. I said, what you want to do? I said, because this just summit, you come up with it. So I said, okay, I'm going to prepare a conceptual framework of a Small Business Act to be legislated. 2009 now. And all of them agreed. They signed off on it. And then I prepared a paper. And I give it to at the time, I think it was the FM government. I can't remember. I think it was Minister Lang at the time. And I went to them and I said, oh, it's a framework. This is not no legislation, it's like that, but it's a conceptual framework we want to take to the AG office and sit down.
Mm-hmm. Why was that important? Why did you think we needed a Small Business Act?
And we need it then and we need it now.
Mm-hmm.
We need it more now because at the time, at least we have these two governments, back-to-back governments, but not no more. Every time, and let me tell you something, I'm angry. I'm very angry. And my team is angry. A lot of small business owners are angry, but they are scared because, I tell them if you're scared, you must play dead. What happens is they don't want to be, look at, say, man, they cause confusion. But this is the end of my journey. I am 60 minus 1 now. And next year is it for me. So I really want to settle on this. The Small Business Act is so important because every time the government changes. In 2002, there was a domestic board brochure by the PLP government. I launched it for them. I am because I'm a consultant. I can't be left or right. I just have to stay focused on the face of the small business industry. And Paul Major, Michael Akitis, and the Christie administration launched the domestic board brochure and conceptual framework. It was the best one at the time, honestly. Hubert, the former prime minister, came in power, destroyed it, kick it out of the garbage. I mean, put it in the garbage and kick it back and for the garbage, and mess out a couple of years of work in industry. So I blame the Hubert Ingram for messing up in 2000 period for that.
Okay, so again, why? I get it. Every time the government changes, you go a few steps back. But why do small businesses need special protections? Or is that what you're suggesting? Why do they need an act?
Now, the problem is, right, because that happened and it wasn't legislated, because if the domestic board was legislated, then we would have a different story now. The problem is, when a government changes, take for instance, we had SMEDO, the Small Business Development Agency under the Christie administration. Then it changed to Small Business Development Center, where I was the board member also. However, the problem is policy changes, attitude changes, personality changes. And sometimes a government don't like to do what the former government did. Although it may be great, the challenge is we don't have a small business definition. We don't have a definition for micro business. Mm-hmm. We don't have a definition for small business. We don't have a definition for medium-sized business.
Why is that important? And what difference would it make?
It would make because every organization come to me and say, Mr. Turnquist, what is a definition of a small? BTC came live, a lot of ministries, even the minister at the time, Shiraga Lang, came to me. But the problem is, once we have the definition, then we could allocate resources and capabilities international-wise. Because micro needs certain things, small needs certain things, a micro and medium size, they need certain funding, certain what I call training development. One fit don't do everything.
Right.
And unfortunately, because of that, foundation, SPDC have a definition. The banks have a definition. BDC have a definition.
Okay.
Everybody have a different definition. That's the foundation. And this is what I was advocating. And hopefully, Saturday coming at the Cancer Society, to section 9:30 to 12 and 12:30 to 3, we can solve this maths and start with a survey. But let me get back to this. The challenge is when government create policies that affect the small business community. I'm using small businesses to replace right now micro, small businesses and in the medium size. That's just one, right? But the challenge is we don't have a legislation or a framework or a committee that is legislated to say, okay, before government change policies that affect small business, let's sit down with the committee and say, okay, we cannot raise this tax because...
So the Chamber of Commerce, that's not good enough?
No. Chamber of Commerce is a nice, nice little... I love them, but the problem is they fail over the years to be advocated for the Small Business Development Center. Not say this current administration of this, but they lack motivation. Chamber of Commerce lack the motivation. That's the problem. All organizations, SPDC, lack the motivation. Because I was in the board. They told me, that's your baby, you deal with it. So I say, okay, that's it. So no government organization have the political will. I must say, the Prime Minister, Michael Akitas, and it's motivated, Simon Wilson, all of them are motivated to have a small business act in the future. I must say they were willing. The challenge is, they gotta set a time limit. Even Glennis Martin Hanna wants it, the Honorable. Fred Mitchell used to come to all of my small business summits and everything when he was not in power. When he got in power, he come. I say, Fred Mitchell, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, please come Saturday. Let's close in this. I'm not a politician. I never want to be a politician. Please, I cannot, and Ryan Pender, my good friend, Attorney General, you were so motivated, you invited me to be a trainer to all of your entrepreneurship training when you were a member of Parliament. But everybody disappeared on me.
Well, they're very busy. They wear lots of
No. We need to close. Denise Diagla tried. A lot of people tried over the years. But one person failed me. I'll never forget him. My cousin, Peter Tranquest. He promised that when he became the minister or whatever he was, that he would try to, but he forgot me, and everybody forget Tranquest over the years because small business is not their business.
Wow.
Why do you think there's no motivation for governments to do this outside of the definition as well? What else is small and medium-sized businesses and micro businesses missing that need to be enshrined in law?
Yeah, what happened is, the challenge is, right? Let me give a good example. Small Business Development Center right now. The SMETA concept is different than the SPDC concept.
Oh, remind people what SMETA is. We were talking about this off here.
In 2012, the Christie administration was proactive, along with Minister Michael Akitas, to develop a framework. Merit Store was hired to deal with it in reference to legislation. I was consultant. We even have a report. We did research in Family Island. And it's supposed to change the way our business is documented, small business development and everything. And legislation is supposed to come afterwards. Unfortunately, the PLP was kicked out of power. That's a problem. And it was not legislated. Minister Rule at the time, Killer had his big book with the National Development Plan, went in the garbage too. It went in the garbage. The FNM thrown in the garbage. I don't think the FNM is proactive with certain things, but that's a different story. They, I said, please legislate it. I said the Domestic Investment Board framework was not legislated, and it was great. It was kicking the garbage by the Honorable Hubert Ingram. I never forgive him for that. Now, Minutes came in power, kicks Smeater, Honorable Minutes, so, and then what happened? Also, the baby went in the bad water and with the ocean, because it's not. Felix Stubbs, my good friend, the National Development Plan went in the garbage too, along with the Small Business Act. And because it's not legislated, because we're always changing government.
Yeah.
That's why I would hope that there could be a continuation of the PLP government, just so that this National Development Plan and the small business, because the PLP government, they are motivated to actually develop a Small Business Act and what I call, I don't care if you get mad at me. I know Terry Quest.
Sound like a commercial now.
No, forget about it. Okay. Forget about it.
But interesting
But I'm
point.
tired now.
I'm sure.
I'm just tired of it because, come on now, I've been at 17 years.
Yeah.
Every year, writing this back to back.
All right, so let's get some definitions in.
Yes,
so
let's get some.
what is internationally recognized as a micro? We'll go through micro, small,
Now,
and medium.
that's the problem.
Okay.
We can't do that because United States and everybody, Barbados had a Small Business Act from 1999.
Which is a smaller country than we are.
Yeah. Right? All of those, Jamaica, United States have from 1958. All of different definition because
everyone has a different definition
because of the population, because of the economy, of their ecosystem and everything. But
if we go by them, even the mediums here would be considered
right. But
micro.
My suggestion, and that's why I would want everybody to come to the Small Business Symposium on Saturday at the Cancer Society. It's free. We have 4 drinks, and I'll be presenting. We have a lot of people presenting. And what I would do is, do I have a position on it? Everybody, it's a survey going around now. I produced a survey from 2000, and it's going to end 2026, when I will be closing the research with the study, with my experts and all that study and everything. So we produce a study to the government and all the stakeholders who deals with the small business ecosystem.
Well, give us some ideas. A place like Barbados versus some place like Jamaica or the U.S., what do they generally consider micro, small, medium?
There's a lot of different definition of 500 people is a small business working on it. But my definition...
what is yours?
Right. My definition is a micro, small, and medium-sized business is any business from startup to $5 annually.
So it'd be based on the money.
Right.
Not necessarily the size.
No. I mean, but of course, it is not for me to come to conclusion because don't forget, because it could be based on employees, it could be on contribution margin, it could be all type of psychedelic accounting terms and everything. But what happened and what it does, at least we'll have a definition so that when money is allocated, it'll be allocated for certain things. Take, for instance, we should have at least $100 million going to small business earmark every year for small business development. But that's a different story. But also, if we have a small business act, this is a great thing. And I spoke to John Rule about this a couple of years ago. The Central Bank president, governor. He's good. He's a good friend. He's the only one smarter than me around my area. We grew up together. Tourism Park West. Let me tell you something. International resources is not money laundering. Once we relax it, we have funding from international donor agencies. Take, for instance, SPDC in Florida. We meet with them next year. Our organization, I'm the founder of the 242 Small Business Association and Resource Center. We meet and we go into Jamaica, JAMPRO, and we get all about so that funding could be earmarked to our government and financial sector and to certain nonprofits like our organizations. So we could cater. Take, for instance, we need the Small Business Act legislation process have to be town meetings. It got to be, though I have a symposium, it's just to get PR, to get people interested in it.
Right.
But there's a lot of contribution from everybody. But, the changes of policies and all that, because it would be what I call oversight committee would be done by public and private sector. People from the government organizations and private sectors whoever in the small business ecosystem. Not the one who appointment secretaries. I didn't know. I talk about people who are on the ground, like design a book. I mean, all our people down, in the ground fighting every day just to make a living. We'll be focusing on developing this country from Abaco in the north to Nagua in the south. That's what we're focusing on.
All right, so I don't want this to become a political conversation.
No, forget about it then.
But this texter saying, please let Mark Turnquest know that the PLP has been in power for 4 years. If they truly wanted to put a Micro Small Business Act in place, they would have done it by now. I'm disappointed that you don't realize that. That's a text.
No, but I had some formal and informal meeting, and I know why I said it. I don't want to speak with that no more. But I know and if I say it, trust me, I mean it. So I don't talk about politics tomorrow.
But it doesn't need to be political, right?
No,
but the question is why is it not done? What is it about small, medium enterprises that governments don't want to put protections in place, put concessions in place that are permanent and understandable by that sector of and they say it's the most important, right, sector of business in the country.
The engine.
Right, the engine. So why is it not worth protecting through law? That's the question that needs to be answered.
That is a $6 billion question.
So what have you figured out?
I figured out. Okay, basically this is it.
It doesn't need to be political, but the truth is, why is it not done?
The challenge is it takes a lot of political will, and it takes a lot of motivation, and it takes a lot of what I call strategic partnership with every organization who deals with small business development. It takes a person like me to march and carry on board to bring, and have 1 million people behind me to do it. However, right, it locks you down, Chester. Yeah. Because if I say I am earmark $100 million every year in legislation, that means you got to make sure earmark that. If it say I'm going to have a non-political board who overseeing the foundation of a small business act execution, it got to be that. It got to be where I'm going to treat Long Island, my hometown, like Inagua, right? It got to be like that. I'm going to develop the blue economy and all this economy. I'm going to earmark specific money to this industry every year. I'm going to have a strategic plan for national small business development and all industries for this specific time. It demands that. It demands a lot, and it demands beyond government.
All right, so
but some of that is mentioned. You already do the work.
Yeah, but the challenge, I did the work, but the challenge was you need people and organizations outside of one organization, like our organization and our team.
All right, so I'm sure the government's going to say, well, we've done this with SBDC, we've done it with BDB, the Bahamas Development Bank, and other institutions. The money has been granted or earmarked. Is that not in line with what you're talking about?
No.
Already?
Let me tell you the challenge. And let me say, I'm going to do this thing right here. There's not inter-ministry and inter-department and inter-organization stakeholder collaboration that's consistent. When you bring all of them in one area, one board, they say, hey, station, this is what we're going to do. BDD, don't buck heads with BIC. BIC, don't buck heads with SB. This is what everybody are obligated, because the oversight committee is going to put that together. This is what we're going to do for the next 5 years, right? 10 years. This is the National Development Plan for Small Business Development. That's what Felix... I hope Felix Stubbs meet with me to close on this too. So we gonna put all in one roof. Mm-hmm. So we ain't gotta change.
No duplication.
No duplication, man. BD Bahamas Development Bank get 30 million. They say, well, let me just put this industry this way. They wake up in the morning. Everybody wake up every morning. I say, let's start something. No. Because they wake up every morning and don't have a skin in the game, long term like us, small business owners. They don't see it like us. That's the problem. Small business, small business, small business.
All right, so let me ask you this, Mark Turnquist. All right, so you're a consultant and you're a small business advocate. Do you know if there is an MSME consultant with the government? Do they have anybody, advisors specifically dealing with these issues? Are you aware?
Yeah, the thing is, what I do occasionally, right?
I mean, not necessarily you, but I mean, are you saying that they don't have this? I mean,
Well, what happened was, other than me giving documentations, the Small Business Development Center do not have the foresight to do it. The Bahamas Development Bank don't have the foresight to do it. The Venture Fund, no. BIC, no. So from my recollections, from my point of view, no, there's none. That's why hopefully after this event, and when I produce this report, I will submit a comprehensive with expert studies, with executive interviews, research surveys, because right now I have a survey from 2024 to 2026. Right? This is going to be finalized and give to the government and stakeholders. I am personally right now, everybody know I'm disabled. I'm blind in one eye and we see 50% in one eye. So this is my final report on the small business development sector. I'm not going to produce another report. So next year may be it. So I'm already training my people who I take over. Unfortunately, my president, who was supposed to take over, Mr. Keith Dean, he died. So he's now going in the transitional period and to move. Yes, unfortunately, died this year. Now, but our team, the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center, SBRC 242, is going to lead the charge. And we're going to focus. And let me tell you something. Everybody in the country, not a small business act. You, mom and pop store, people who want to start, no entrepreneurs, existing ones. I don't care what happened. If there's nothing legislated, you will be not moving. There will not be no economic development sustainable for your grandchildren. You know why? Because there's no commitment. There's no commitment. Once we have a commitment and law, there's something to refer back to. Because the National Development Plan was not legislated. And I spoke to the government and the Christie administration about trying to get things done faster. Because I know what happened to Domestic Investment Board. If it's not done, legislated, it's going to be thrown in the garbage. So, Mr. Stubbs, I hope you have this done between now and next year, because, whatever you do is up to you. I'm not going to get into your point of view and your work, but it got to be legislated. It's not legislated. They say, the Freedom Information Act was legislated. No. But let me tell you something. I can have one leg, one arm, one hand. Once it's legislated, I will be pushing this from my grave. I will be making sure that all government and agencies that align themselves with being committed and to the execution of it.
And I think Mark made the point there, right? Without an act, there's no commitment to the sector. The sector that you say is the most important, right, in the country. There's no commitment. I challenge anybody right now who has a small business, you don't even have to have a small business, to figure out how to get concessions for your small business. To figure it out. Go and figure out how to get customs exemptions for your small business. I'll give you $100 if before the end of the show you message or call in and tell me how to get.
It's not even clear whether there are.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And what Mark is saying is that needs to change.
Yeah.
Right.
It should be a much easier way to know.
Because the Small Business Act is going to focus on business advocacy.
Yeah.
In other words, we have a section in our oversight committee that deals with small business advocacy, so that we meet with the government occasionally and say, okay, this is if you meet with NGOs and Chamber of Commerce and all the rest of the other organizations, say, this is what we need to advocate to the government, to legislate, or to put in place, or to the banks. I haven't let y'all off either, because you got Garvin Boy is my boy, but we need to get together too. So because even the research, there got to be a comprehensive research on small business development in the country, all over the islands. What are the heritage of Andros? What Cat Island need? What Michael need? Not political. I talk about what they really need, wants, and expect. So they got to be constant research, constant advocacy. There got to be a national funding scheme, like $100 million a year, earmark every year. There got to be a definition, what is a micro, what is a small, for international funding. And it got to be all type of, what are the requirements for new entrepreneurs? Right. What are they? What are the requirements for what I call existing entrepreneurs? Right. What are the manufacturing industry? But come on. I see. What are the needs, wants, expectations?
All right, we're running out of time. I want to get to the symposium, but we've got a couple calls coming in. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Mark Turnquist is speaking.
All right, you're breaking up.
That's the small.
No, okay, I think we lost a call.
That's the Small Business Act phone company.
Squeeze in your call really quickly. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259.
Yeah. The speed that the symposium is Saturday coming November the 15th at the Cancer Society of the Bahamas. It's free admission. You come in, we speak about the importance of the small business from the retail sector, from the financial service sector, from different industries, from e-commerce sector. And we're going to be there from 9:30 straight down to 3 p.m. A survey will be taken at the time. So you can contact me at 427-3640, 427-3640. You can WhatsApp me so I can email you and WhatsApp you the survey. So you can start taking the survey also for you to enroll in the free admission symposium. And then we'll be part, because I have a position on it, but I want everybody to get involved, because my position will not be the final one. The final one will be the survey. The survey and the information received will be the final document going to the government. So that's basically what's going to take place.
And you have two sections. Do you need to do both sections, or can you do one?
No. It all depends on the people. I can be there all day. I don't care. If one person come out of it's going to be the same section.
I see.
Same agenda. There ain't going to be no.
So you pick which one's best for
you.
Yeah.
And if one person come in the morning, one person, no. Okay. But like I said, I can be there. My team is going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking. And I know Chester, the Nassau Guardian, is going to be there, right? Like Chester, going to send people. Right. Everybody's going to be there. Tribune, everybody going to be there. The TV stations, everybody going to be there.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, John.
Hi, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Listen to your conversation. I know you're young people just trying to get involved in the market entrepreneurship, local manufacturing, etc. This is Leslie Miller calling.
Oh, you sound, yes.
We formed the Bahamas Light Industries Development Council back in 1983, trying to get him to patronize local industries, to try to expand the economy, and try to limit the amount of imports that we import into this country. At that time, there was no duty on water, no duty on bleach, no duty on most of the products that we produce, and they were about to go under. We then went to the government, formed the council, and we were able to save those industries and save thousands of jobs. The problem with the Bahamas and Bahamian people, if it ain't foreign, it ain't no good. And I think that you all too, who on this show speaking about trying to be successful in local manufacturing and small businesses, you yourself will support local businesses. That's the problem. We talk about it, but we don't support it. You don't buy any local product.
I buy every local product in the world. I buy.
You don't even know what confidence of local product.
Hey, I am.
in this country.
Listen to me good now. I am the president and past president and founder of the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center. I am the president, past president, and founder of the 242 Small Business Association Resource Center. My members are small business owners. My name is Mark A. Turnquest, Mr. Miller.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Mark Turnquest.
Blanco Bleach. I know Blanco Bleach and all this stuff are part. Blanco Bleach and all them is part of like manufacturing associations. I know.
No, that's the Light Industries Development Council.
Yeah,
that's what they're part of.
Well, but whatever it is, but I'm trying to tell you, I am pure.
That council has been dormant now for about 15 years. You need to get it back on track so that all the local manufacturers in the country, all the small businesses, can become one entity.
Well, tell them contact me. Tell them contact Mark Turnquest at 427-3640. And I'll meet with them and my team.
So, Mr. Miller, that's what Mark is saying, right? So that there's no consistent
development council, right? That you have one umbrella organization.
Yeah,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but tell them contact me at 427-3640, Mark Turnquest, so we can put all this in our framework, so we can finalize it.
All right. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, well, I'll connect you later. I'll find your number. We'll talk.
424-3313.
1 second,
if
please.
you're serious, if you're really serious.
You say
424-3313. My number hasn't changed in 20 years.
424-3313. Okay, I'll contact you.
If you're serious, let's put a serious effort in trying to industrialize this country, on trying to get more import substitution entities that people can appreciate in this country, that Bahamians have an appreciation for what Bahamians are capable of making, and the contribution we can make to the local economy and to their lives.
Excellent.
But let's get serious with it, eh?
No, I'll contact you, and then after symposium, we'll work.
Serious with it.
Thank you, Leslie Miller. Really appreciate your call. And that's what you're saying, right? So it can't just be a one-off thing. You need to have it consistent.
That's what we need. And once we have that, there's strength in numbers, like of the organizations, because I'm going to speak again with the Small Business Development Center.
And that's exactly what the example he gave is exactly what you're saying needs to be done.
I'm going to speak
for small business.
I'm going to speak again with the Small Business Development Center, Mr. Lone Basant, and his Samantha Rowland. I'm going to speak again with the Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Leo. I'm going to speak with the Bahamas Entrepreneur Venture Fund. I'm going to speak with BIC, Mr. Sampson. Right, I'm going to speak with all of them again.
But to his point, even without an act, why don't we see an association, a group of advocates for industries and companies of this size? Like, why not? So that they can work together and get things done.
The problem, if you're scared, you're already dead. Everything is too political. They feel, because we marched in 2000, my organization, to reopen the country up, right? And it was reopened afterwards. Right, we had the march. I had a march like a scum in the earth by police escort. They didn't want me march. If you look at my video, you see me police in front of me. As I was my team and I march. Everybody was scared. Half of the people didn't want to come out because they were scared. The police didn't want us to march under the previous government, right? In 2000. You know what I mean? And so people were scared. But people like me, I ain't scared. Because as a Christian man, I want to make sure that all of my Bahamians from Abaco to B1 survive. Because if you don't own a business, you are dependent on everybody.
All right. So again, Leslie Miller made a great case there. There are industries that are facing some obstacles that are unnecessary, that are unfair, and if you are together, you need to.
Well, there's your answer.
Have a stronger voice.
There's your answer.
I know it's my answer.
There's answers. The problem is if the biggest business sector in the country has understandable access to the things that they deserve and need. Who's going to need the people that hold the power anymore?
But let me tell you what happened.
Who do you go crawling to? You don't have to crawl to anybody because you could click on a website You could
exactly.
You could get your concessions. You could apply for loans and grants.
But
all of the But why? Why would we give you that access?
The problem is, we approached the 242 Small Business Association. We approached SBDC. They said no. We approached the chamber. They was like, We approached BIC. They said, So everybody, they're not committed because see, they're not small business owners. That's the problem. You see, once you're on the game, it's got to be run by small business owners. That's the problem. If you're just a person every 5 years, you come to a board or they can elect you and you're not an owner of a small business, you have the intensity like me, who got to wake up every morning, disabled, and still got to fight to make earnings.
Right. So definitely need to be at the symposium on
Of course.
Saturday. Again, remind us of the time and the location.
The symposium is going to be at the Cancer Society, my love place. I love there. It's going to be from 9:30 to 3 o'clock, 2 sessions, 9:30 to 12 noon for the first session, people who are in the mornings, and the second session is going to be from 12:30 to 3 p.m., and that's for people who come in the afternoon. The same agenda. I'll be speaking, our small business owners be speaking. You come and you fill out the survey. I speak about the survey. I speak about my position, and then you will have a stay because the survey, you take the survey, and then it's a short survey of what you want, but the components of the structure of the small business development. There's a lot of stuff. So you could WhatsApp me or email me at mark.a.turnquist@gmail.com. That's mark.a.turnquist@gmail.com, or call me at 427-3640 for the survey and for more information. But I want you to be there. It's free. No colors, no black, yellow, red. Just come as you are. Small business owners, we need you. Like Mr. Miller said, you start up. No, we want because it's not an act, because the light manufacturing industry was not legislated or an act. What happened? People go and sleep, but I can't sleep.
Okay. And we're going to post this on our social media as well.
Yes, thank you so much.
Part of the symposium. Mark Turnquist, thank you so much for being here. I know you've been working on this for so long.
26 years. Asorado. This is it. So my people coming after me, we'll do this. Let's do this, people.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we've got our final few minutes of Morning Blend business in just a bit. Stay with us.
You gotta be loafing, and if you're not loafing, then brother, you gotta be joking. You must work, on a lie, and don't be a jerk. Everybody must work hard. It's like lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. Chicks the ball out. Lazy body not gonna work. Man and woman, they better try and do some work. You want some man, them don't work.
We understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
At RBC, your idea of getting more happens here with a no-fee loan with fee waivers, competitive rates, and flexible terms. Get everything you want for the holidays. Apply today at rbc.com/holiday loan.
Some people come and go. Others work for you every single day, whether through free classes for students or programs for the elderly. We've been ads for years, while others waited for their time to shine. I'm Brian Brown, and I know it is something you earn. On November 24th, vote FNM, because this time around, we're going with Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Calling all Bahamian entrepreneurs. Get ready for the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, one of the Tourism Development Corporation's signature programs that provides both information and direction to new and developing businesses. Expect a lineup of industry experts and keynote speakers whose keen insights, strategies, and real-world experiences can help you take your business to the next level. Come on down to the Entrepreneurship Think Tank on Thursday, November 13th, 2025, from 6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Agency.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull, Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's, Clarkson, Island Luck, Starbucks, and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Attention RBC clients. To comply with regulatory requirements and to avoid service interruption, you need to update your information at your RBC branch. While you're there, enroll in RBC Digital Banking for 24/7 access to your accounts anytime, anywhere. Update your information and bank at your convenience with RBC Digital Banking today.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Government's move from cash basis accounting to accrual accounting has lost momentum over the last few years and will be an extensive undertaking if the government decides to pick up the project again, according to Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis. He was speaking during his address to the BICA Accountants Week. That's the Bahamas Institute of Chartered Accountants. Moving government accounting from cash to accrual was a project the former F&M administration picked up and felt strongly about. However, the F&M was not able to bring it to the general election in 2021. Halkitis said the consideration for a move to accrual accounting started even earlier than the F&M administration, but explained that the project as a whole simply lost steam and was not reinvigorated. So you can read more on that in today's Guardian business section. BPL COO Anthony Christie says that the power company continues to actively explore hedging options for the purchase of fuel in order to beat price volatility and is also conducting a tariff review. Christie making the remarks while on a panel at that BICA conference. The panel speaking to energy at a crossroads, cutting costs, driving efficiency. He explained that fuel management helped BPL to deliver stable, affordable energy, saying that ensuring consistent fuel availability and mitigating price volatility is a priority for the company. Overseas, the White House, as we've been talking about all morning, says it is considering backing a 50-year mortgage to help alleviate the home affordability crisis in the United States, but the announcement drawing immediate criticism from policymakers, social media, and economists who say a 50-year mortgage would do little to resolve other core problems in the housing market, such as the lack of supply and high interest rates. The director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency saying on X, formerly Twitter, that a 50-year mortgage would be a complete game changer for home buyers. That agency, part of the federal government that oversees Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which buy and insure the vast majority of mortgages in the U.S. The 30-year mortgage is a uniquely American financial product and the default way to buy a home since the New Deal. After the Depression, the politicians and policymakers at the time wanted to create a standardized mortgage that borrowers could afford and pay off during their working years. But extending the life of a mortgage to 50 years does decrease a borrower's monthly payment. But because even more of the monthly payment on a 50-year mortgage would go toward on the loan, it would take 30 years before a borrower would accumulate $100,000 in equity. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Tuesday. Your market movers, AML Foods Limited moving 3,000 shares, closing up 10 cents to $6.65. APT Limited moving 115, closing unchanged at $44.64. Consolidated Water up 64 cents to $7.52. And Emira Incorporated down 11 cents to $11.63. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,050.74, up 0.63. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Chester Robarts.
Hi.
Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for filling in for me last week.
You're welcome.
And you'll get a chance to do that again.
Will I?
In the next few days.
And months?
I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'll be back soon, folks.